Focused and fearless, here's everything you need to know this rush hour of December 27, Friday. I'm Riza Diaz. We kick off today's rush with Typhoon Ursula leaving at least 28 people dead, 13 of which are from Iloilo. And even though the wrath of Ursula is no longer felt in the country, for some residents, this is still one of their worst Christmas season. Jenny Dongon with a story.
Andrea was already at the airport before Christmas. She supposedly headed to Kuwait as their family's breadwinner. But her December 25th flight was delayed due to the typhoon. Little did she know that while waiting at the airport, her husband and 3 children who are mourning over the loss of their relative would also meet their end.
Parang feeling ko hindi totoo. Parang nananaginip na ako, sabi ko, panaginip lang, di totoo kasi bakit 4 talaga? Bakit sinabay sa isang iglap? Kaya, syempre, nakakapagtaka, nakakagulat.
The remains of her husband and their 2 children have already been retrieved. Authorities are still looking for her other son. Andrea's Christmas wish is to at least see him for the last time.
Gusto ko siya makitang buhay pero yung hope na kung patay man siya, basta katawan niya na lang makuha. Hindi ko talaga siya makikita. Para magkasama-sama na sila.
10-year-old John was lucky enough to survive. Narrating her dreadful experience, he said the rains were still battering their place at 3 a.m. The flood was already knee-deep, but in just a few minutes, unexpectedly, they got carried away by the flood waters. He held onto a bamboo pole for 3 hours, sustaining wounds all over his body in the process. The provincial government says what happened was a flash flood brought about by the lack of trees.
Wala nang malalaking kahoy doon sa mga bundok at saka mais na lang. For the last more than 10 years na ginagawa yan ng mga tao.
For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
At least 5 towns and provinces have declared state of calamity due to the effects of Typhoon Ursula. Now, these include the provinces of Capiz and Leyte. Same goes for the towns of Daanbantayan and Medellin in Cebu, where around 50,000 people were displaced. State of calamity has also been declared in San Jose Occidental, Mindoro. Typhoon Ursula has finally left the landmass of the Philippines, but Pag-asa warns that residents of northern Luzon will have a rainy day today. So let's get more on this through weather forecaster Benny Estereja, that's reporting live from the Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Benny, good morning.
Good morning, Riza.
Benny, first off, we would like to know what's the latest on Typhoon Ursula.
We have the latest on Typhoon Ursula. As of 3 in the morning, it was located at 335 kilometers west of Subic, Zambales, and it has maximum sustained winds of 120 kilometers per hour. And it's currently moving slowly, around 10 kilometers per hour northwestward. And it is expected to exit our Philippine area of responsibility by tomorrow morning, that's December 28th.
Benny, is that right? The northern part of Luzon will be experiencing rainy weather today?
Yes. Northern Luzon and then parts of central Luzon will experience cloudy skies with some scattered rains and isolated thunderstorms for today due to the tail end of a cold front. So particularly Ilocos Region, Cordillera, Administrative Region, as well as Cagayan Valley and Aurora Province.
Are there still gale warnings, or is it lifted already? Is it already safe for sea travel?
Due to the northeast monsoon, we still have gale warning over the seaboards of Batanes, Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, Ilocos Norte, and Ilocos Sur, and the wave height could reach up to 4.5 meters. So mapanganib po or it's not safe to go out into the sea.
Benny, bukod kay Typhoon Ursula, are there other weather disturbances that we are looking into?
Based on our latest satellite animation, we're not seeing any weather disturbance or low-pressure area cloud clusters that may affect our country within the next 4 days or up until the end of 2019.
That's good news. Thank you very much. That's Pag-asa weather forecaster Benny Estereja. President Duterte and the CPP founder Joma Sison exchanged theirs following reports of alleged NPA attacks in Iloilo and Camarines Norte. Marisol Halili with the story.
After several years as an exile in the Netherlands, President Rodrigo Duterte is challenging Communist Party of the Philippines founder Joma Sison to come back to the Philippines. This is to have a one-on-one talk ahead of the expected resumption of formal peace negotiations.
He's man enough and sincere enough, he can come over and have a one-on-one discussion with the president.
Sison thanked the president in a Facebook post, but said it's premature to go home before the mutual approval of the Comprehensive Agreement on Social Economic Reforms. He also set conditions should he meet Duterte. First, it has to be in a country near the Philippines, and only after the formal resumption of the peace negotiations and the approval of the interim peace agreement. He wants the Royal Norwegian government to be the third-party facilitator. Malacanang has yet to comment on this. As for the president's stare, it came a day after the New People's Army allegedly attacked military and police personnel in Iloilo and Camarines Norte. This happened just a few hours after the holiday ceasefire was declared. Malacanang condemned the violations but did not order to lift the ceasefire.
There has been a violation. But nevertheless, we are giving them the chance to explain why it has committed such a violation.
National Democratic Front Chairperson Fidel Agkawili denied any violation of the ceasefire. He said the communists were just defending themselves against the military and the police. He also states that the National Democratic Front of the Philippines, the Central Committee of the CPP, has yet to receive a copy of the suspension of military and police operations. Panelo meanwhile confirms that the president indeed is included in the NPA's hit list.
I was talking to Secretary Esperon earlier, and he said the inclusion of the president in the hit list has been validated by them. So it was not wrong info fed to them.
Although a formal invitation from Duterte did not appear to be forthcoming, Panelo says the president is man enough and sincere enough with his invitation. For News 5, Maricel Halili, we are One News.
Now, here are the biggest stories from the dailies. President Duterte might cancel the 15-day unilateral ceasefire between the government and the Reds. Senator Bongo said the palace will investigate the ambush in Iloilo that happened after the announcement of the ceasefire on Monday. 2 police were injured from the attack that was reportedly carried out by NPA rebels. The last annular solar eclipse of the decade was seen from the country yesterday. The moon covered the center of the sun, leaving out the outer edge, making the sun resemble a ring of fire. Best view of the eclipse was seen from Gensan and Balut Island in Davao Occidental. And this from the Philippine Star. Grab users, keep a close watch on your rewards catalog. The ride-hailing app will start disbursing 19 million pesos worth of penalties to its users by December 31st. Riders who took Grab car ride in Metro Manila from February 10 to May 10 and from May 11 to August 10 will receive credit refunds. Now, these may be claimed through the rewards catalog upon completion of the basic Know Your Customer questionnaire. The Transportation Department slammed Angkas for subjecting the agency to what it considers trial by publicity. Jero de la Peña reports.
A public spectacle and an emotional blackmail. This is how the Transportation Department touted the noise that motorcycle ride-hailing app Angkas generated after the DOTR released a directive that limits the ride-hailing app's number of riders to 10,000. In an open letter, the agency calls this unfortunate. Aside from making use of social media, Angkas also enjoined the public in a protest, gathering sympathy for its 27,000 riders. The Transportation Department said it is one thing to state your case, and another to use the issue to protect one's vested interest at the expense of government. But Angkas retaliated on Twitter, saying it only vests its bikers, not its interests. Angkas alleged that the cap on riders was created to force riders to transfer to other ride-hailing companies. But the technical working group dismissed claims of disenfranchisement.
Tanong ko, what disenfranchising ang pinag-uusapan dyan? When they do not have a franchise in the first place. Sinasabi ko, kailangan may batas.
The Philippine Competition Commission suggested other ways to allow other ride-hailing apps to enter the market that does not involve putting a cap on the number of riders.
Meron pa sigurong mga ibang options na pwedeng pag-aralan din ng PWG, katulad na ng multi-homing policy. Ibig sabihin nito, hindi ka lamang exclusive na naka-affiliate at nagmamaneho para sa Angkas. Makakapili sila kung sino yung pinakamaraming booking request. At the same time, yung mga consumers naman natin, may choice sila, hindi lamang Angkas.
According to the TWG's data, only a little over 2,000 of Angkas riders are officially registered with the LTFRB, while there are over 1,400 each for Joyride and Move It. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
People have started to troop to Bukawi, Bulacan to buy firecrackers and fireworks ahead of the new year. Now, if you're planning to go there, perhaps you should do that today as prices are expected to soar this weekend. Greg Gregorio with the story.
Aldwin Pacardo, who came from Nueva Ecija, brought his family to Bukawi, Bulacan just to buy fireworks for the coming New Year's Eve celebration.
Yung mga pailaw lang, saka yung mga quitties para pampatanggal ng malas sa bahay.
This has been a tradition for his family and relatives. And this year, they bought 5,000 pesos worth of fireworks. New Year staples are still in demand. The likes of quitties, which costs 400 pesos for a 100-piece bundle. Sparklers also cost 100 pesos for 30 pieces. And silver fountains are being sold for 25 to 85 pesos depending on the size. Other choices include Roman candles, which cost 300 to 900 pesos depending on the size. The 5-star costs 50 pesos for a pack of 100. And 16 shots of fireworks display that cost 600 to 900 pesos depending on the brand. These prices might increase by 30% on Sunday due to demand.
Kasi yung iba, di ba, may pasok pa lalo yung government. So baka Friday, Saturday, Sunday, hanggang 31.
Store owners said they are also teaching their customers how to properly use their products. And in stores, fire extinguishers and a drum of water are on standby for any untoward incident. They also assured the public that they have secured necessary documentary requirements for the sale of these fireworks, which include business and sanitary permits, fire safety inspection certificate from the Bureau of Fire Protection, and the license to deal fireworks and pyrotechnic devices from the Philippine National Police. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.